radical. So this is a great place to shoot this because of the gold medal game tonight. France versus the US. I'll show you why. So this across here, all smoke from California. Not all of it, because I've been shooting videos now for 10 years. Talking about this is going to happen. I call it the molded grapes of wrath. As you know, I predicted all this. And anybody that tells you like KSL from hell that's been going on for years, let me show you something. 2010, right there, I skied the Olympic downhill on 4th of July. Snow was clear up over there. We had snow right here, 15 feet deep. 2011, the river's all flooded, Ogden flooded. The Great Salt Lake was above normal levels. It's gone dry, so that's not all just smoke. It's dry lake effect, which I've been talking about that for 10 years. Fukushima's going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States. The irony of this is, here we go, they're still flying the fucking, every time one goes in the air, it's $1 million. The F-35, yay! Boogeyman, we got to have those when the fight off China. You know China has one. Japanese pilot flew it in there. Did you know that? What? So, we always thought Utah Jazz versus two best records in the NBA, Utah Jazz versus the Brooklyn Nets. They can't beat them Brooklyn Nets. Well, they wouldn't have beat the Brooklyn Nets, but he twisted his ankle because the NBA shoved so many games into a small season. Those guys were all beat to hell, and Durant's toe was on the line by that much, or they would have won it easily. Now the Utah Jazz, they're the same old choke fucking arse pieces of shit they've always been. So important, because Rudy Gobert meets Kevin Durant tonight. So I do the play-by-play I did for Weaver basketball with Damian Lillard's on the floor. Maybe he can get off the snide. Head by 22 points at halftime in that building in the Big Sky Championship game in Lodge. So maybe he can finally get a win. We all got bets, me and all the players. So the Olympics, this is Hiroshima Day. Why am I not out there? You know, that old beat up car I have, you know, open heart surgery, Damian Lillard, a billionaire, Kevin Blanch is zero-air. When we did the work the same time on this campus, whose work's more important? That's easy. Hopefully you can see this. In the snow, smoke covered hill, may a landslide. Damian knows my path. His bracket buster game, I was in there with my nurses. I had a central line hanging. I got leukemia. So I did the play-by-play all those years he was here. So why I'm not at the Enola Gay Hangar for the first time in how many years? I tried to rent a car. You can't get one. My buddy runs the thing. He says, they're booked 2 months in it. What? For one day? So I'm going to try to get out there the next 3 days. Because we got, this is, you know, maybe I'll do one on Monday for Nagasaki. I'll get it done. You know how I go. So, Gobert versus Lillard. Excuse me. Gobert versus Durant, who we thought that would be the NBA Finals. The Jazz, I cannot overstate this. What a metaphor. And I'll talk about this, you know, numerology. Oh, it matters. So, I walked this exact same path on 8/24/2019 to do the play-by-play on the Damian Lillard alumni game. My car was broke down then. I walked from clear out there many miles. Boy, have I walked this path. I've walked so many miles post Fukushima. I was given 2 months to live, as you know. So the leukemia games for Kakayuki, proud of you. The young woman who won the paddling, who was diagnosed with cancer in Seattle a few years ago, proud of you. But you got to start talking Fukushima. This is important. Because it's Hiroshima. You think any of them players are going to mention it? Come on, Lillard. Make a statement. Come on, Damian. So, we know the players, because I'm friends with all the players, the coaches. They're in town. We all got bets on the game. It's about half-half. It's about half and half. Who's betting on who? Should be an epic game. So, right here. I used to walk in the tunnel right there. Not anymore. I got fired from the job that doesn't pay for saying fuck the NCAA. So, This is important. I'll get out there to the hangar. Hiroshima Day, the game's being played. So, the championship game, the exact moment of Fukushima the year earlier in 2010, at that exact second, Lillard's ahead by 22 points at halftime in that game. I grew up right here. I got saved at the Auto Clinic by my uncle. Him and Vincent Hansen, the Auto Clinic's right there. They saved my life. My little step granddaughter's in primaries right now, fighting for her life in primaries. Auto Clinic freaking caught it early. She doesn't have any hair. She's a tough one, man. I gotta give it to that. We have an AML leukemia outbreak in children here. Lillard's ahead by 22 points at halftime. I'm doing the play-by-play. Me and Frank Layden. Montana people all left. Lillard lost. Anthony Johnson said, years later, he was interviewed, "You never did that before. You never did that." He never missed a field goal. He never missed a free throw. Craziest. I've seen some freaky shit. I've been a lot of jazz games, including when Jordan hit the shot. Hundreds of these marquee historic games. Jason Kidd's last game in there. Valvano cutting down the nets in there. I go on and on and on and on. I had an out-of-body experience, he said. So I have this little angel who's always with me right here. I was going into a coma in the bone marrow transplant. 2011, 2012. She came to me. This is an ancient burial ground. The nuclear industry, when they merged and built the reactors at Fukushima, that's who built the D-Event Center. That's... Utah Construction is G. They cheated, by the way, on the Mach 1, Mach 2. It's in full blown out meltdown. Fuck, where'd you sleep last night? You're and I from Hiroshima to Fukushima. So I go in the game on 8/24. I walk in there. There's Damon. I'm sitting with his bodyguard. That dude sitting next to me in the video, that's his bodyguard for the Trailblazers. He's a commodity. He's a thing. Nike. He says, he has a three-point, he puts it on. He has a three-point shooting contest with players, ex-players. They're all bombing away. Nobody can hit one. I'm yelling at him, "Hey, Damien, go show him how it's done." He walks out. First shot, nothing but net. That was on 8/24. Why is that significant? Kobe Bryant, a trainer that used to train here. I used to work for Coach Beglan, the best team they ever had, 95, 99. Ruben Nemhart. Kevin is a personal trainer for Kobe Bryant from Weber State's legendary training clinic, Joe Bass's protege. So he says, "Kevin, you know, Kobe Bryant's a lot like you." I says, "Well, Kobe Bryant's a genius." "Oh yeah." I says, "I remember his press conference when he was 18. They said he couldn't go in there. Take him to court." He says, "Fuck you, I'll take you to court." He does press conference in multiple languages. Kobe. COVID-19. COVID is the Hebrew word for Kobe. Kobe means great. It's the oldest Japanese word. What's going on in Japan? I see vloggers and bloggers saying, "What's going on?" Please, it's Fukushima. There's no doubt in my mind that COVID-19 came from the Fukushima disaster and or the China SMR, who's being funded here in Utah. Black Lives Matters was started here, right here, by Kevin Blanch on this campus, on the death of Matthew Stewart and Jared Falcone, the no-knock warrant on January 5th, 2012. I was going into a coma that whole month, in and out. Those Weber State nurses saved my life. And the death of Danielle Willard, shot in the head. Here's Donovan Mitchell with his bulletproof vest, with Utah all over. Wants to speak thing. The murder cop, innocent people capital of the world. Oh, it's right here. The Stewart case happened just 3 blocks down. 8/24, that game was, Damien's. Why is that significant? Kobe Bryant. Isn't it amazing how basketball will tell the tale of culture, all of it, before it even happens? Natives played basketball for thousands, and that's an unarguable fact. The peach basket lie, just like Abram Doubleday invented baseball. Natives played basketball on this very sacred ground right here for at least 13,000 years. The Shoshone played basketball. You ever been on the reses in Montana? You ever been on the reses up there and see how good they are? How come they don't play college? Please. So what a metaphor. Kobe Bryant, when he switched from 8/24, says it's pure business. Said he made over $100 million on that freaking deal. Selling jerseys. Get your slave-made gear. I should have had my O jersey. I got an O for Ogden, blah, blah. I found it at the thrift store for $2, Mr. Lillard. I see him around up here when he's here. The most underutilized building in the world, a.k.a. the Damian Lillard Training Facility. What's this? What's this? Oh, we played women's softball. Well, we played some men's baseball. In Fukushima, Japan. Yep. I want to cut down the nets there. The water's curse. Oh, it's a metaphor. Who'd I bet on? Well, I was betting one of the players, the big center. He says, no, I'm taking France. I says, yeah, me too. Shh. So what's his name? Says, I'm not rooting against him. I never do. I always root for him. You know, I'm probably his biggest supporter. He doesn't support me, but I support him. We're doing both our work on this campus at the same time. Whose is more important? Just the greatest PhD in human history. Metaphorical significance. I took France. I don't know if you saw the silver medal game, or excuse me, the semifinal game. France got in. That's one of the greatest basketball games you will ever see. Oh, what a game. So why did the Jazz? Because that's what they always do. They're choke artist pieces of shit. Snyder's a piece of shit. They're pieces of shit. What they've done to the young fans in the NBA make me fucking throw up. I had season tickets. I remember the Jazz playing in there. Big Mark Eaton. I had season tickets the first year Jazz was here, $140 for the year. The first playoff game, I have the ticket. Courtside, sitting right behind the bench, $15. Beer, $1. The first protest I was successful at when I was 19 years old, Battistone raised beer prices from $1.25 to $1. We protested in front of the Salt Palace. What a gem that building was. That big drum. Energy Solutions. Bobby Sloan, Bobby Sloan, Bobby Sloan. I'm sitting right there doing by play-by-play. Damian Lillard's got a broken foot. Frank Layden, I'm like, come on, Frank. You know, me and Frank are talking. He'd always come to these games. He'd swear off the Jazz. It's 2010-ish. And we have floods here. Before the epic drought that Kevin Blanch predicted all of it. Kevin Blanch predicted all of this, including the mutation, including the pandemic, including the death of the Pacific Ocean. Guy walks over. Frank, Utah Jazz scout. What are you doing here? Frank says. Oh, I'm scouting a player. Well, who you scouting? This player from Eastern Washington. Good player, by the way. Big Sky basketball. Might as well have it. Hell, I mean, you ain't seen, these are wars. I look at him and I says, hey. Yeah, I says, your NBA player sitting right there. And I pointed to Damian right there. I knew from the get. He laughed. Mr. Lillard hurt him. Will Lillard finally get off the snide and get a win tonight? Deep down inside, I kind of hope he does. You know, I'm pissed off at all those guys because they didn't use their platform properly, though. I still am a fan of his deep down inside. You know, someday when he gets older and matures, he has a boy-girl twin. I'm a boy-girl twin, but we did our work at the same time. He's a billionaire with his Nike contract, slave-made goods. Not me, I buy everything used. Got a lot of Lillard jerseys I find at Savers down here, $2, $3. So we have a jersey, the last Damian Lillard jersey that was sold at the bookstore that I had a fit about because they did promote him when he was here. They sure made a lot of money off his back after they went in the NBA. I have the very last one. All the players have signed it, coaches have signed it, all these famous people, including the most greatest athlete this campus has seen in decades. Who's that? The mascot of the last 3 years, national champion. He's even signed it. I'm going to get Damian to sign it. I'll have him sign it, and it's going to hang in the bookstore. In the Union. Go team. COVID came from the fucking sea, from the meltdowns. The SMR in China, there's an ongoing meltdown. What's Fukushima? The greatest catastrophe on Hiroshima Day. This is August 6th. Irony. Basketball mirrors culture. Oh boy. Kobe. Kobe means greatness in Japan. Why would the World Television name it? Which I got kicked out of the whole city, put on a bus. Why would they name that? because they know it came from Japan. COVID-19. COVID. Tony Gwynn, 19. He died of cancer from it. Commenter number 19, Kevin Blanch. They tried to make a sequel out of me. I was given 10 months, two months to live, almost 10 years ago. I'm getting there. I'm in a 10-year program. I'm almost there. I gotta finish. It's like I was a half miler. I used to want to get an eye stone. Don't let them catch you on the wire. What a year for Italy, by the way. They win the World Cup. They win the high jump. They win the 100 meters. What? They won the 4x100? How can the U.S. protest Tommy? I've talked to Tommy Smith personally years ago. How can you protest on the podium, you spinners, when you can't get to the fucking podium? What a metaphor. I think France will beat him, but we'll see. It should be a classic. On Hiroshima Day, Lord I remember, Lord I remember. The mass murderers called American. Kobe Bryant's dad made less than 3 times the working class American. Used to work part-time jobs to pay the bills. He's still alive, and he was good when basketball was still good and it was still a sport. Now it's a thing that Nike owns, and they're slave-made goods in bunkers where they genocide these people. Child slaves, handicapped slaves, get your fucking slave-made jersey. Willard's got a new pair of shoes, a new jersey out every day. O for Ogden, O for Oregon, O for Oakland, O for the fish in the sea, O for the ecology. Stay tuned.